Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Afiq Shazam Zaidi and my registration number is 14AKM 23F1057. Today I want to tell about welding in a confined space. Okay, this is the correct situation and question. An employee of a trailer service company entered a 1,000-liter cargo tank to weld a leak on the interior wall of the tanker. Despite the presence of a strong odor of lacquer thinner, the material previously carried in the tanker, the welder decided to proceed with the repair even though the written company safety policy requires the use of an explosion meter at the point. When he began welding, an explosion occurred. The employee was removed from the tank and taken to a nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead by the attending physician. Now we go to the question. Suggest the 5 corrective action and 5 preventive action that could be taken by the management to improve the safe working system for welding in a confined space. So this is the type of welding that can be used in confined space. Shield arc metal arc welding or SMAW. Stick welding, also referred to as shielded metal arc welding, SMAW, is a widely used and adaptable welding technique. Temperature as high as 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit can be achieved through this process. An arc is formed between the electrode and the metals, being joined in a SMAW by a flux coated electrode. The flux coating melts along with the electrode, creating a layer of a slag and a shielding gas. In doing so, the wet pulse is protected from airborne impurities, guaranteeing a strong and clean weld. Since SMAW is easy to use, portable, and can fuse nearly any kind of metal, it is preferred option for wide range of welding tasks across multiple industries. So, I want to tell about advantage and disadvantage of SMAW. Firstly, I want to tell the advantage of SMAW. Firstly, versatility. It works with a wide range of alloys and metals such as cast iron, carbon steel, stainless steel, and others. Portability. Small equipment is suitable for outdoor and remote location because it is reasonably portable and can be used in a variety of positions. Thirdly, use easy to use equipment. The small equipment is easy to use and doesn't require a lot of setup of extra shielding gas. Then, low cost. Compared to TIG or manual welding, small is less expensive because of its easy to use and adaptability, as well as the fact that it doesn't require costly gas shielding system. And lastly, effective on rusty or dirty metals. Small works well in situations where other welding techniques might not be able to properly clean the surface. Now I want to talk about disadvantage of small. Slower process. They need to chip away slag after each weld pass makes small welding typically slower than other techniques like MIG or TIG welding. Secondly, limited welding position. Some positions, especially those involving overhead or vertical welding, can be difficult to operate and call for additional training and experience. Thirdly, weld cleanup. Each pass of the process requires chipping away the slag that was produced, which prolongs the weld process and demands more work. Lastly, limited dimensional welding. Due to the possibility of burn through an excessive heat, this method may not be the best for welding this metal. Cost and explosion while welding. Gas will up. When welding in a small space of press with inadequate ventilation, flammable gases may build up and catch fire when the welding arc or spark initiate them. Secondly, combustible material ignition. Welding in close proximity to combustible materials or in areas that contain combustible dust, gases, or liquids may cause an ignition that result in explosion. Thirdly, pressure buildup. It is possible for reactional gases to expand quickly when heat when working on pipes or containers that once held volatile substance. Lastly, chemical reaction. When some metals, particularly those with coating or residues, are welded together, chemical reaction may occur that result in the creation of explosion of or flammable substance. Gas cylinders that contain flammable gases used for welding, such as acetylene or propane, should not be handled improperly as this can cause leaks and subsequent explosion. So this is the case explosion when welding. As you can see, it is it's happen because sorry, it affect that one worker dead and two injuries. The It is thought the welding fire and the gas in the tank caused the explosion. The victim who died fell from the welding workplace, which is 15 meters high. Source by Bernama. Now, I want to tell about 5 corrective actions should be taken by management. Okay, firstly, proper ventilation. Make sure there is enough ventilation in the small area to avoid the buildup of gases or fumes that could be hazardous to your health of cause an explosion. Use fan or exhaust system to keep the right amount of airflow. Secondly, gas monitoring. Use gas detector to continuously check the confined space gas levels in order to identify any potentially dangerous gases that may build up during welding. Thirdly, self-welding procedure. Make sure of welding methods that reduce heat, splatter, and film production. Use confined space appropriate welding technique to lower the risk of fire or explosion. Then, fire prevention. Keep extinguishing supplies close at hand and take precaution against fire by erecting barriers that are resistant to flames and removing combustible materials from the area. And then lastly, personal protective equipment or PPE. Emergency protocols and sufficient training on confined space entry procedures should be provided to all personnel engaged in welding within a restricted area. Everyone involved will work in a safer environment by taking these corrective measures, which help reduce the risk related to welding in confined space. So here, there is 5 preventive actions should be taken by management. Firstly, thorough risk assessment. Prior to beginning any work, do a thorough risk assessment of the confined space. Determine the necessary precaution, evaluate the equality, and identify any potential hazard. Secondly, permit system. Establish a permit system for access to confined space. Make sure that only authorized and trained individuals enter, and that all necessary safety precautions are taken and adhered to. Thirdly, appropriate ventilation. Install sufficient ventilation system to guarantee a steady supply of fresh air. Eliminate welding fumes and gases, and stop dangerous material from building up. Then, training and communication. Educate employer in depth about the unique danger connected to welding in confined space. It's crucial to communicate clearly and comprehend emergency protocols. Lastly, secure work environment. Use safe welding techniques that are appropriate for cramped areas such as low fume or low splatter welding and minimize heat input to lower the risk of an explosion of welding. The danger of welding in a small area can be greatly decreased by following this precaution step, providing a safer work environment for all parties. Okay, now we go to the conclusion. One of the mechanical jobs that carries the highest risk is that is welding. Regardless of the employee or management, each party should have a significant role to play. Employees are expected to be vigilant and to follow management instructions without exception. Employees should receive clear and specific instructions from management to not perform tasks in the way that you desire. So that's all for my presentation today. Thanks for watching and Assalamualaikum.